Hi guys, it's that time of month again, time for my November favourites. So let me pop this away and we'll go through these one by one. The first thing I was loving in November were these nested tag dies from scrapbook.com. These are super large. I mean, that's my hands for scale. You can see I've already taken them out of my packet and they're just on my magnetic board for storage. I think the largest one is, I want to say 8 inches by 4.5 inches. So they are quite large, but that's what I really loved about them. I loved how big they were. So here's one I've cut out. You can see how large that is, and in comparison to a pocket page notebook, you can see it's just slightly shorter and just slightly wider. Easy enough to trim though. I trimmed like about 1/4 inch off each side and then it fits into a pocket page notebook, so that was the main reason I wanted to buy it, for a large tag die to put in a traveler's notebook, and it works really well. So the only thing that I had an issue with was fitting them onto my Cuttlebug plates. They don't fit onto a Cuttlebug plate. Well, the largest one doesn't anyway, which was why I wanted the set. So that brings me to my second favorite, which are these extendable Cuttlebug plates. So, oh, hello camera. These are, I think they're 13 inches long, so they fit a 12-inch die. I've never seen a 12-inch die, to be honest, but I do love the fact that I'm now no longer restricted to finding metal dies that fit on a standard Cuttlebug plate. These can be used for, I think border dies are probably their main purpose, but it does mean that if I find any larger dies like this that are more than sort of 7.5 inches long, I will be able to actually use them. My next favourite for this month was this coffee stencil from Echo Park. I used that in my like big cups layout, so I'll leave the link for that up here if you haven't seen it already. I used it with paint and you can see that it has left, I didn't clean it in time, so it has left a bit of residue on there, but apart from that it does clean, it does still work perfectly normally. I can't imagine that all stencils stay perfectly clean all the time, but this is really fun. I want next year to be a little bit more experimental for me. I'd love to do a little bit more mixed media. I don't tend to do a lot of it because while I'm filming for you guys, it's a little bit harder to be messy and experimental like that. So I really want to try a little bit more of that next year. Whether that makes that onto my YouTube channel or not remains to be seen, but we'll go from here. This stencil, however, I really love. Doesn't have to be coffee, I think. I love that it's like this sort of abstract-y pattern, so I'm sure I'll be getting a lot of use out of that. My next favourite this month was the Snarkily Yours Volume 3 stamp set from Citrus Twist. I use this on so many pages, guys, not just ones that you've seen in process videos, but I used it a bunch in my traveler's notebooks, and I think I even snuck it onto a few Project Life spreads as well. I just love these kind of stamps. Kelly Stamps does the same sort of thing. It's nice to have stamps that aren't just like best day ever kind of things, because I guess the reality for most of us is that very few days are the best day ever. Most of them, most of real life anyway, it just has a little bit of annoyance to it. So these stamps are perfect for that, and I use them a bunch. As you can tell, they are well loved and will be definitely kept on my desk so I can use them even more. My next favourite this month are these Spellbinder dies. My lovely friend Alice sent them to me in some happy mail, and in particular this die here. So this is this tiny little coffee cup. Focus camera. Tiny. I think it's about 1 inch high. I just love it, and it makes these super cute little coffee cups. There is an actual sleeve die that goes on with this one as well, so these are super cute. I've got a really cool idea to add them to my December daily, so I have been making a bunch of these when I get just a little bit of time, and this die is so cute. I'm not sure if it's still available anywhere, but if it is, I would grab it because it's super handy. My last favorite this month is a little bit random. It's just using old kits. Being on design teams and being sent new stuff to use each month is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it's great. but I do tend to accumulate a lot of stuff, and kits is one of these things. So I'll insert a photo here. I rearranged my storage of these kits so they fit a little bit better in my drawers, which isn't necessarily a great thing because I shouldn't be storing them. I should be using them, and that's what I've been doing this month. A couple of times I haven't had any new kits to use for Project Life, so I have been diving back into my stash and just randomly grabbing a kit to use. These are all Citrus Twist kits, and I have loved it. It's sort of like using a kit with fresh eyes. And I wonder a couple of times, like, oh, why did I not use this the first time? But I think that's the thing, is like having a break from a kit and then coming back to it. You have new ideas, new ways to use those products. And I think it's a great idea, if you can, if you have more than one kit available, to take a break rather than trying to demolish a whole kit in one go before moving on to the next one, although that is a great idea too. But maybe take a break for a week or two, or even longer. I think some of these I've been using have been 2 or 3 months old, and go back to them and just see how many more layouts you can make with them. So that's it, guys. These were my November favorites. I had a fun month in November craft-wise, which I didn't think I would, considering I was going to be so pressed for time. So I'm hoping that continues. I'm going to try really hard for my December favorites not to be just filled with December daily stuff, but at the moment that project is large in my mind, so I'll have to see how I go with that one. Let me know down below what you've been loving this month, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.